You know what happens when we make one small choice? It changes everything. Like, for example, if you chose to come to this talk, that probably means that you didn't go and do something else. So everything for you has changed because of that one small choice. I was 19 years old and I was at university. I had grown up in a small town and moved to a big city for university, and it was the first time that I was away from home, away from my family. I had never been away for more than a week at a time. And so everything was new. The city was new. The people were new. The way that I experienced things was also new. And I remember going out with some friends and they said, "Hey, let's go check out this club." And it was the first time that I would be going out to a club. I had never been to a club before, and so everything for me was new. And there was this girl in my class who had been to this club, and she said, "Yeah, you can go in, and if you say the password at the door, then you can get in, free." And the password was a certain name. She told me that it was the name of a shampoo. I thought about it. The name of a shampoo. Do I know any shampoos? I did. There was one that my mom used to use all the time. So I wrote down the name of the shampoo. So later that night, we went to the club and I got up to the door and the bouncer said, "Password." I thought, the name of a shampoo. What was the name of that shampoo again? And I thought, I don't know. But the girl that I was with said, "Don't worry, I got you." She said, "Just stand here and stay quiet." And so I stayed quiet. And then after about 5 minutes, the bouncer said, "I'm sorry, but you have to leave now." And he was really nice about it. He could have been really rude, but he wasn't. He was very nice about it. And he walked me out of the club, and he explained to me that there was a bit of a problem. The girl that I had come in with had tried to use her student ID card to get in, and they had blocked her from entering the club with her real name. So she had given my name instead and tried to get me into the club. But because I didn't have the password, which was the name of a shampoo, I couldn't get in. But then something interesting happened. This guy who was the bouncer walked me back to the main road and he said, "Listen, I am gone. Tell you another way that you can get into the club for free and I want you to come with me." So I thought, okay, what is he going to suggest? He suggested that I should stand outside the club and if any girl came out, I should stop them and ask them what the password was. If I could get the password from a girl coming out of the club, then I could get in. I thought, well, that sounds like an adventure. Let's do it. And so I stood there for about 5 minutes, and every time a girl came out, I asked them what the password was. They all said the same thing. What password? They clearly hadn't been told the password. Then eventually, a woman came out, and she was quite drunk, and I thought, this is my chance. I'll ask her. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, what is the password?" She looked at me and she shouted, "F off." That was not the answer that I was expecting. And then the bouncer came over and he said, "Listen, I think you need to try again." And so I stood there again for 5 minutes. Another woman came out and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, what is the password?" And she said, "What password?" And then another one came out and she said, "What password?" And finally, another one came out and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, what is the password?" She looked at me and she said, "It's the name of a shampoo." At that point, I'd been waiting for about 20 minutes and I just blurted out, "Lush," and she said, "That's right." And she walked past me and went down the street. The bouncer said, "Thanks for your help," and walked me into the club. I felt so proud of myself for getting into the club, and it made me feel like I could do anything. You see, if I had known the password earlier, then I wouldn't have had to go through all of those experiences. But sometimes those experiences are needed in order for us to grow. Sometimes we need to feel a bit of discomfort in order to learn a lesson. In my case, I learned a lesson in patience and also how to overcome rejection. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you have a good idea for a video, please write it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.